Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody, and good Friday evening to everybody, or good Friday at lunchtime here on your lunch break. Welcome to the Auburn Blitz. Brett Pritchard and one of our new hosts here on our program. We'll welcome in Scott Blake.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Scott, you're not new to this area,
No.
for sure, but to some people that are watching throughout the state, you might be new, but anyway, we're glad to have you in the mix now, and again, it's not easy to find somebody to fit in a group. You know, you got to be an Auburn guy, first of all. You know, you got to have a schedule that's semi-flexible, and you got to have some presence behind the microphone. And for those of you might know, you probably heard him before sing the national anthem at multiple venues at Auburn and a lot of places, but especially at big games like the Auburn-Alabama baseball and basketball games, other events down there. So if the voice is recognizable, this is that guy over here.
Well, the voice isn't all that great today, so I got the sinus crud.
Well, the weather can't figure out what it wants to do.
I know it, so I can sing a real low voice today, but that's about it.
We're glad to have you, man.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
And we'll have Scott as part of our group moving forward on a lot of our programming. Our program brought to you by Mortgage Pro there at McKinley Team, Big Fish Real Estate Group at Lake Martin, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, and J.A. Smith Construction. Couldn't do the program without them. Four great partners here on the program. Scott, it was a great night last night for both Auburn and Alabama fans. Alabama got it started in Legacy Arena with a win, and really didn't have much of a problem with Texas A&M Corpus Christi. But Auburn had a formidable opponent in Iowa last night. It was an 8-9 matchup. Auburn gets the win 83-75. If memory serves me correctly, Auburn is undefeated in round one games in the NCAA tournament. They've never lost in the first round.
That's right. The guys on TV last night were saying when Charles Barkley played, they were giving him a hard time.
Right.
We didn't win. There might have been one we didn't win when he was there or something.
Right.
I mean, they were giving him a hard time, but yeah, we're good on the first round.
Yeah, let's see what we do in round number two, the round of 32. We'll have to take on Houston as they knocked off Northern Kentucky last night. But they struggled, Scott. This is a Houston team that's the number one team in the country by poll. They're not the number one overall seed in the tournament, but they are one of the four number ones. They tried to go with their top player last night. He was able to play a few minutes. I think he played like 12 or 13 minutes in the first half. Re-injured that groin, so he's done, I think, now. And I think a lot of Houston people were really critical of Kelvin Sampson for trying to put him in last night against the 16 seed. And, you know, if he's not able to go, let's just say, and we hope Auburn's able to pull off a victory, but if they do knock off Auburn, their path to get back home to Houston for a Final Four has gotten tougher without him.
Real tough right now. I don't know how they get there. I don't know how they're going to get there, but I hope they don't get there.
I hope they end Saturday.
I hope they go home Saturday. That's right.
Right. You know, this is a Northern Kentucky team they played last night. There was a 16 seed, but man, they stuck with Houston pretty much the entire game. You could tell that I watched Northern Kentucky warm up, and man, I don't know if they missed any threes. It was like, good gosh, if they come out and light the nets up like they're doing here, Houston's in trouble, of course. When the game actually starts, it's a different story than warm-ups.
Right.
And they did struggle from outside. I think they only hit 4 or 5 out of like 30-something from deep. So it hurt them, but they played them tough. Houston, you could see Kelvin Sampson last night. He's not excited about this matchup tomorrow.
No, they're big guy. Houston's two, and I wrote their names down. I can't remember them. The two forwards for Houston.
Right.
They're huge. They're only like 6'7", 6'8", but they're bulky. The LeBron James thickness. They're thick, and they're strong inside.
They take up a lot of space.
Yeah, inside game was on last night for them, but that's about all they had last night.
You know, this is a team that lost to Memphis in the championship of their conference and in their tournament. And, you know, this is a team that, again, it doesn't matter who it is. You take the best player off of any team. They're going to struggle. Let's real quick. We're going to go through the SEC, but let's go back to this Auburn game. That's what we want to focus on here in the first part. Want to remind everybody on Fridays we have Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. He'll be on at 12:36, so you don't want to miss that. Always good to catch up with Jason. A lot going on with spring football practice, Auburn baseball getting started. We'll talk about that. In SEC play, gets started today at 4 o'clock in Arkansas. We'll talk more about that a little bit later on. Day of upsets yesterday. There were 2 major upsets. Really just busted most everybody's bracket in some form or fashion. So we'll dive into all that as well. But I was there last night, and this is an Iowa team that you knew if they get it going. They're like a lot of teams, Scott, in this modern day of basketball. If you get going from outside, you can beat anybody.
That's right. And in the first half, I watched it on TV, so I've been at a lot of games when you're there, but you don't get all the color commentators and telling you the inside of what's going on. And
right.
And they didn't hit a three.
0 for 9.
They were 0 for 9, and we were only 1 for 11 in the first half. But they kept saying, "Oh, they're going to come in. They're probably going to hit." So I told my wife, I said, "They're going to hit 7 or 8 out of the gate."
And they hit 7.
They hit 7, and they came out stroking them. But
we were too.
We were too. We hit doggone Trey Donaldson came off the bench. Hit
right.
He was 3 for 3. KD was 2 for 3 or 3 for 3. He hit 2 or 3.
Well, we matched them. They had 7, and we had 7 in the second half.
Yeah.
We ended up hitting 8 threes. If Auburn hits 8 threes in these games, we got a shot. And, once again, I don't like 17-point leads. Can we get an 18-point lead or a 16-point lead? We got a 17-point lead. And you could kind of feel the momentum and the energy in the building, and there was a media timeout. And then after we came back out of that media timeout, Iowa went on a run. And then before you know it, at the 12-minute mark, we're up 17. With 4.5 to go in the game, we're up 4.
I know.
I thought, well, it's anybody's game.
We've blown it now. We've blown another one. But we didn't. They hung in there. Free throw shooting, a couple of guys missed a couple, but Wendell Green. I mean, he was
broke up.
Yeah.
Auburn
was on fire. Yeah. Luckily he got the ball. They were fouling him, so he hit 5.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. With us sitting around yesterday, Trey Donaldson really had a phenomenal game. And I'll be honest with you, I questioned Bruce taking him out and putting Wendell back in the second half because Wendell struggled. And the last play of the first half was so indicative of the way we played all year.
It was awful.
You have the ball in the last possession. Wendell, he never looks to kick to anybody. He never drives into dish. It's let's dribble around out here, and time's running out, and we're gonna fire up a wild shot.
Yep.
And he did. So he did not. I think he had 1 made bucket in the first half.
Right.
He's 1 for 7, 1 for 8, and it's like he's having a horrible night again. We got to go away from it. Jalen Williams got in early foul trouble. Was concerned about that, but I think Jalen, and I said this past week, Jalen's the key to this team for me because he's a guy that pours 18 to 20 in with ease, but if he gets in foul trouble early, it takes him out of his rhythm, and he got 2 quick fouls.
He did,
and
early.
we didn't see him very much.
In the first 5 minutes, I think. Yeah.
So that's been kind of his Achilles heel.
And he got out, had to sit down most of the time. They said in the second half, I think Tracy, what's her name?
Wolfson.
She interviewed Bruce during one of the timeouts, and when Green came back in, she said that he had talked to Wendell Green and said that he had challenged him, and because he wasn't playing well before that, and that's why they pulled him out.
I'd have left Trey.
And I know he was hot. You'll go with a hot hand for sure, but we won. So he came back in. And down the stretch, he hit those free throws, and that's something we don't do real well.
Well,
sometimes.
Again. You kind of knew at 4 minutes we got in the bonus, and it was going to be a free throw contest, and we were able to come through with that.
If you miss a couple of those, the game.
Oh, it's a whole
changes.
different whole different ball game. Anthony comes on here and says should have done more research about Penn State. He said very unfortunate matchup for A&M. I was just on I'm on the Gary Harris show in Tuscaloosa every Friday as the Auburn guy. And, Gary and I were just talking about that, Scott. A&M's an odd team. They, this team started out horrific in the season, and they stormed through the SEC and kind of out of nowhere was in position to actually win the regular season until the last couple of weeks, and then they stormed through the SEC tournament again, and it's like a mirror image of what they did last year. They didn't get in the NCAA tournament last year. Everybody kind of felt like they got short-sighted on that. You flip over and you look at the 7 matchup. They complained about being a 7 seed,
Right.
but this is a team, Scott. This is the A&M team that was at the beginning of the year that showed up yesterday.
Well, I watched them play last weekend in Nashville, and they were a totally different team. They were on fire last week. That
That's what I'm
guard,
saying.
yeah,
It's
the
just-
guard number 4.
Well, not Radford 23, but
It's number 4.
Yeah.
I can't think. It's something.
but usually Radford's their guy.
He's something the 4th. It's
Yeah.
Carver the 4th, and he's number 4. He's the
Yeah.
4th, and he was on fire last weekend, but he didn't play well last night.
Well, again, going back to Texas A&M as a program as a whole, they kind of an underachieving program. I
Yeah.
mean, when the chips are on the table, in football, ever since they entered the conference, outside of the 2020 COVID year with Jimbo Fisher, when they only lost 1 game, that was to Alabama, they've really been mediocre at best.
How did they beat Alabama? They beat them 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Exactly.
How'd they beat them?
They were just in that. I mean, again, that was the Texas A&M that just couldn't do anything wrong. So Mosley comes in and says, "Scott sure seems natural up there. Good idea." So look at there.
He's talking about my hair color or natural.
The natural lighting that
that's right, that's
reflects off. So,
That's right.
Anthony said, "Xavier Trails, Kennesaw State right now. The hits keep coming to my bracket. Hey, the brackets have been busted by a long stretch for a lot of people, but we're just getting started here on the Auburn Blitz. Stay tuned. More to come right after this."
The interstate is backed up this morning due to an accident.
So you don't like sitting still on the interstate? Get the free Algo traffic app. With Algo, you'll have the information you need to avoid problems on your route, to work, to home, to the beach. Traffic backups, wrecks, lane closures, all with current info and live traffic camera feeds. Know before you go with Algo Traffic, ALGO Traffic from the Alabama Department of Transportation. Get it today and arrive on time.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill and Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin. Daikin. Comfort for life.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
Don't be caught in a dirty vehicle. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have your vehicle or boat looking like brand new in no time, and you'll be back driving in style. They specialize in detailing, paint correction, gel coat restoration, and ceramic coating. Take it to the professionals at Lake Martin Mobile Detailing. Call them today at 256-794-2328 or stop by and see them at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville. Mention this ad and receive $10 off. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing for your cleanest vehicles around.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
SCAG, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that SCAG means productivity and reliability. Every SCAG mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. SCAG.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz here on this Friday. Got 45 minutes left in today's show. Brett and Scott here with you, taking you through your lunch break. Glad that you've joined us here. Again, Auburn over Iowa last night, 83-75. They move on to the round of 32. And, here we are, sitting there with a chance against a 1 seed that's banged up, and you're in your backyard. You're playing in Legacy Arena. Alabama will be playing after Auburn that night against Maryland, so it's going to be full Auburn and Alabama fans. But, you basically got a semi-home court feel to it, and so you can't ask for a better situation if you're Auburn. You're going to have to play tough teams, but they're a win away from getting to the Sweet 16, Scott.
Yeah, I know it. We don't go many times, so it's
well, and last year you had such a great team, and then you run into Miami, and that would perhaps be our Sweet 16 matchup would be Miami.
Oh, wow. A little payback. Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, yeah. We
just say, what if, Alabama's on another side and we're on this side. Could you imagine the both of us making the Final Four?
That would be pretty cool.
That would be.
It's like we're like anything I can do, you can do better thing.
That's exactly what it is.
If we get good at basketball, guess what?
They're going to
get good at basketball.
That's exactly right.
I think they're buying horses right now in Tuscaloosa just to get better at equestrian, Yeah.
Don't give them any ideas.
I know it.
No ideas. Michael said can't think of his name, but 4-star guy that got hurt early in the year. Any updates on him? That's Chance Westry. He's going to be back next year, Michael, and he's going to be a phenomenal shoot. He's really a guy that could have helped this team tremendously, especially from outside. We've struggled most of the year, and it's gotten better in the last couple of weeks shooting a three. Actually, since the Tennessee loss, Auburn's been the best shooting three-point team in the league.
Wow.
Could you imagine? Nobody would have thought that. It doesn't feel like that. But at the same time, if Chance Westry, 6'6", shooting guard, can move, he would have been a massive addition to this team. And, looking forward to getting him back next year.
I read an article this week that talked about he's gained 8 or 10 pounds, and he's gotten stronger and bigger. And
Hokinson interviewed him, Justin Hokinson.
And it's going to be he should be stronger next year.
We're looking forward to getting him back. We do need some more shooters, especially after watching Devin Cambridge burn the nets up at Arizona State after he transferred.
Exactly.
So, Ty said, welcome to the show, Scott. I think Auburn got a shot at upsetting Houston tomorrow, and I predict Princeton will upset Missouri. Hey, look, daggum Princeton knocked off Arizona. We're going to talk about some of these upsets here in a little bit. But, that's the thing about March Madness. You just don't know if it's your night or not. And sometimes if you can just hang in there and keep a game tight, give yourself a chance at the end, now's better than any other time. Talk about some of these upsets. That Furman game with Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia has the ball basically with 4.5 seconds to go. Furman has a trap. So kid just throws it down the court just trying to waste time. Well, it gets intercepted, and then an immediate pass back to a guy on the wing, he pops it, and then with 2 seconds they're up by a point. devastating loss if you're Virginia. But you know what? I'm not
Poor
crying.
Virginia.
Not crying for the
Poor.
double dribbles.
I know
Okay.
it. Poor Virginia.
But Furman, what a win, man.
I know it. How many? They're saying there's still perfect brackets out there, but there can't be any.
Point. I saw last night. Braden and I were coming back from Birmingham. .0016 perfect brackets are left.
Right.
.0016. What is that in the scheme of 20 million?
Who picks those two upsets?
No, somebody just picked 800 brackets. So
Right.
A computer probably. Go ahead, caller. You're on the Auburn Blitz.
Hey, Brett Scott, this is Terry. How y'all doing?
Terry, what's up, brother?
There is a reason why they offer $1 million for whatever for a perfect bracket, because it ain't never gonna happen.
That's right.
Exactly right.
That's exactly right.
Chance, you're talking about a little bit about Chance Westry, Brett. I like him because he's going to give Auburn something they desperately need in the backcourt, and that's size.
Right. Exactly.
That's what Auburn lacks. I mean, look, I give Wendell Green. You know how I feel about Wendell Green.
Yeah, I do.
And so I think that goes without saying. But they are playing well, and I tell you right now, I wouldn't trade Wendell Green for nothing if you could put a guy at the free throw line. But something people don't point out enough. Do you notice when he shoots, he falls down a lot?
He does. He hits the floor almost. He and KD on layups are going to fall down. I just their momentum and the way they attack the basket. They're going to slide into the baseline. But I was frustrated in the first half with Wendell. I thought he, again, kind of was a ball hog a little bit and wasn't distributing the ball the way he needed to. And Trey Donaldson, thank goodness, came in and just was on fire.
Well, to call him a ball hog is a little bit. It's like calling Michael Jordan a decent basketball player. I mean, so I just never said that. I was really impressed with McDonald last night. I think Auburn is a better basketball team. Emphasize that word team. Underline it, capitalize it, whatever you want to do with him, because he will pass the ball. He will make a play, and he's going to be a better shooter. Quite honestly, I think the future is bright for Trey. I really do.
I do too. I do too. I think, again, this is not a bad team. It's just been a team that really the last month hasn't been able to close games. They've been in every game. They've had a lead in most of them, with the exception of that Kentucky game. And I think that's more of a Rupp Arena curse than it is the team.
I think it bears saying this might be Bruce Pearl's best coaching job.
Several of us have said that on this program. We feel like this may be the best job Bruce has done. A couple of our buddies that are beat writers down there at Auburn feel the same way. So, he has. I mean, he continues to put a competitive product on the floor.
Right. Guys, have a good day.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate your call, buddy.
See you.
Some good points there. It was good to see Trey Donaldson. Hey, look, you never know when that guy's going to have a coming out party. Somebody, I'm not just saying, hypothetically, that could propel Trey into being a consistent 10, 12, 15-point-a-night guy and getting more minutes.
And he's got size.
He's got size.
He's thick.
The whole time I'm watching him, he was a 2-star athlete in high school. He was a 4-star cornerback in Florida. I'm thinking, man, we can use him on the football field. He looks good running around out there.
Right.
But a great point guard. Came in when we needed him last night, when Wendell was struggling, and, got some quality minutes. Johan Traore, for all he's worth, he gives you a lot of minutes, and he plays hard. I watched him last night, but you look at his stat lines, it's zero.
Nothing.
So it's just he's got to have it click in his head. I think he can. He's got the potential for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Up against another break. Stay tuned. More of the Auburn Blitz right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com.
Country Clipper zero-turn mowers are designed for comfort, accessibility, and ease of use. Only Country Clipper offers your choice of steering options with industry-exclusive joystick steering or twin lever steering. Their patented stand-up deck, standard on every model, allows for quick access to the underside of the deck for routine maintenance. With a wide front step and optional handrail, getting on or off your mower has never been easier. Stop by Fun Carts of Opelika today for a test drive. Country Clipper mowers, designed for you. Fun Carts of Opelika, located at 618 Lee Road, 113 in Opelika, Alabama.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Kalijah Idol is coming to Lake Martin and the River region. The opening rounds are at Martin's on Lake Martin starting March 17th. Then at Alabama's Little Bit of Texas at Wetumpka from March 31st to April 22nd. Kalijah Idol 15.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Check out the powerful new Chevrolet Silverado 4-wheel drive crew cab, discounted up to $9,250 off. Chevy Equinox up to $6,750 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com. Plus, no payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Chevrolet.
We have over 200 new and used vehicles on the ground or on the way. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, halfway through the program here. Glad that you joined us out there. Ty said basically the weather looks like it's going to be brutal in Fayetteville this weekend. I just looked at it, Scott, and the reason we talk about Fayetteville is where Auburn plays baseball, start the SEC play. 39 degrees tonight. They're going to move it up to 4 p.m. Instead of 6. And then tomorrow high is 39. Tomorrow, basically in the morning, it's going to be 19 degrees. And then on Sunday, I think the high is like 39, 40, 41 degrees, something like that. It's going to be brutal. It's 3 brutally cold baseball games in Fayetteville. Not a good draw if you're starting off the season.
Can you imagine the ball hitting your hand on the bat?
No.
Just 30-degree weather?
Shattering.
Yeah.
Just shattering. So
that would be awful.
But, yeah, we'll have Jason Caldwell on here in a little bit to talk about the series with Arkansas softball in a tournament in Oklahoma. That'll get started today, and taking on Murray State. I think it may be Murray State, and then Northwestern, and of course a couple of games against Oklahoma out there while we're there. So the best team in the country. So Mickey Dean talked about getting in that tournament. Said, "Look, want to be in a tournament, see what we're made out of, see what we can get." So they're gonna find out.
Did we get some pitchers this year? I hadn't even.
Yeah. Softball loaded with pitchers. Yeah, and then we're hitting the ball a lot better too. And so we'll see how they play. It's again lost the first series to Georgia, two out of three, but they were really close games, and we'll just kind of see how that plays out. SEC off to a 5-2 start in the tournament. Mississippi State lost that play-in game, of course. Texas A&M lost last night, and to Penn State really wasn't close. But a 5-2 start. Kentucky is up next. They're up tonight at 6:10 on CBS against Providence. This is not a pushover game for Kentucky. And last year they went out in the first round, and Kentucky fans they're on a drought right now, man. When it comes to rings and banners.
Yeah, but they're playing pretty good right now. I saw them play last weekend. They're playing better than they played earlier in the season. So,
but another quick exit out of this tournament, and another year gone by without an SEC tournament title, and another year gone by without another regular season SEC title. Is the patience wearing thin in Kentucky?
Cal may be on the
It's a $50 million buyout for him.
That's why he's probably still there.
I mean, when you go ahead and throw that kind of cash out there, you make it hard to fire him. But, Kentucky's fans' patience. I mean, this is the longest run they've had, really, without some type of hardware.
They were not happy on Saturday, let me tell you, up in Nashville. They were all, was it Friday night? Whatever night they got beat by Vandy. It was kind of neat.
2 in a row by Vanderbilt.
I know. Kind of neat watching Vandy beat them. And, up there in Bridgestone Arena, it was just a sea of blue everywhere. And there was,
they just take over.
They take over the whole place, and the Vandy fans were having fun when we were leaving. I mean, we saw a lot of
altercations.
It could have been bad, yeah. I mean, young, old, male, female, didn't matter. They were screaming and hollering at each other. The Vandy fans were excited because they beat Kentucky, and it was a good game. And they came out the next day and laid an egg. So it was Friday night. Then Vandy got beat on Saturday.
Tickets became available pretty quick when they lost and Tennessee lost, and that's why Alabama fans were able to scoff up all the tickets.
I was there for that final game, and they were everywhere too.
And Alabama just ran them out of the arena. So SEC again 5-2. Missouri over Utah State last night 76-65. Alabama, of course, over Texas A&M Corpus Christi 96-75. Oddly, Brandon Miller with no points in that game.
No points.
So is that of anything to be concerned about if you're Alabama? I mean, or is that great that you scored 96 and didn't have your best player score a point?
So I didn't get to see the game. So what did he do? What was he doing? I mean, did he get in foul trouble?
No,
was he
just
on the court.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it just wasn't his day.
Right.
And he's had a few games like that this year where I know in the first half earlier in the year, I can't remember who they were playing, but he didn't have any points. Ended up kind of going on a barrage and ended with like 15 in that game. But I'm very shocked that
he only had 4 or 6 points against us in Auburn.
Right.
And I sat in front of his dad at that game.
Well, it just tells you about him. I mean, and that team.
You're right.
They don't have to have Brandon Miller to come out and
That's how strong. They're strong all over.
Well, they're just deep.
Speaking of Bama fans, I was at the tournament last weekend, and I was in line at the concession stand getting lunch. I look up, and there's Luke Robinson, one of your comrades.
Oh, yeah.
And he and his son were there, and Luke goes, "Why are you here?" I'm like, "Because I'm a basketball fan."
That's exactly right. How dare you go
I
and
know,
watch
like,
anything?
Can an Auburn fan not be at a tournament? Even though we were gone, we exited too soon. But he was like, "You just like basketball?" I was like, "Yeah, I like basketball."
That's
so
right.
I had another Bama fan ask me the same thing the next day. "Why are you here?" I'm cheering against y'all.
That's right. I made sure to stay.
Yeah,
so the other team.
yeah.
We knew Texas A&M didn't have a lot of fans in town.
Right.
But anyway, Alabama with that win. Arkansas over Illinois. That was another 8-9 matchup. Arkansas was the 8 seed, 73 to 63. Tennessee knocking off Louisiana, 58 to 55. That was a close game. Look, I didn't pick that upset in my bracket, but I was very close.
Yep.
Because if you looked at Louisiana's record, 26-7, solid team. Tennessee really hadn't been playing the best ball. One of the things that you look at from a standpoint of, they lost their best point guard, and you saw them take an early exit in the SEC tournament, and Auburn beat them at the end of the season. I kind of felt like that might be an upset, and Louisiana closed the gap, had a chance.
They did. Ziegler, not having Ziegler,
he hurts.
is huge. It's huge. He's a good ball player. I think he's a good kid, too. He's one of the players I like in the league. I like him. Yeah.
And then, of course, last night, to end it all, Penn State knocked off Texas A&M 76-59. And, Wade Taylor was the guy you were trying to think of.
Right.
He just couldn't get it going and just couldn't get anything to fall, and he struggled against Alabama in the SEC tournament. So, that's kind of the way that played out. But again, today or tonight, it'll be Kentucky Providence at 6:10, the only SEC team in action in the second day of the tournament. Again, Auburn will take on Houston at 6:10 on Saturday, and then Alabama will tip after 9 o'clock. Against Maryland. So it's going to be a rowdy group in Legacy Arena.
Downtown Birmingham. It's going to be
Auburn
fun.
and Alabama fans in the same building with both their teams playing.
They're back-to-back, aren't they?
Yeah. It's everybody in the same arena together.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody in there together this time. It's not different sessions.
That's must-see TV.
Yeah, not on the court, in the stands.
In the stands, I'm talking about.
And then you're going to have a smattering of Houston and Maryland fans in there to witness all of it.
I
So
know it.
it's going to be a big old party. Up against another break, we come back. Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers.
J.A. Smith Construction, with 19 years experience, is your trusted choice for construction. Site clearing and grading for new home construction, basement excavation, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 334-531-0199 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
LMG Ad Agency is the go-to vendor for all your digital and print marketing needs. We have in-house production for all projects, including graphic design, web design, social media marketing, videography, and print marketing. Our video production is up to industry standard with modern 4K cameras and drone capabilities. We pride ourselves in client-committed relationships, and every project is personalized to your needs. Visit lmgadagency.com for a free quote today. Let us tell your story.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
The Eric McKinley team at Mortgage Pro in Alexander City is the perfect lender for all your mortgage needs. Property values have increased and interest rates have never been so low. So if you haven't looked at refinancing your house in the last 6 to 12 months, Mortgage Pro is here to help you take advantage of that. Our team is closing loans in 15 days or less, so give us a call at 256-397-0248 and let our team go to work for you today.
For more than 40 years, Ingram Equipment Company has helped companies, towns, and cities with their dirtiest, most challenging jobs by providing the very best equipment and by helping them keep in tip-top working condition. IEC represents leading manufacturers such as Heil garbage truck bodies, Timco sweepers, Step pothole patchers, and many more. We proudly support all athletes and teams that compete across the state and wish them good luck this year. Ingram Equipment Company, ingramequipment.net.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left in today's show. I want to go to the phone lines. Welcoming our good friend Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. Jason, good to hear from you, brother.
Yeah, good to have you guys. How are y'all doing?
Man, good. Good. And we'll start with basketball last night at Legacy Arena. Auburn with a big win in the first round, 83-75. Janai Broom with another big double-double. 19 points, 12 rebounds. Flanagan with 10 and 10. Wendell Green ended up with 15. But free throws were huge coming down the stretch. Jason, they were able to knock those out and move on.
Yeah, they continue to do what they've done now recently, which shoot the ball pretty well. And so they did that and, got some stops when they needed, especially in the first half. They kind of put Iowa behind the 8 ball for much of that game. And so, you look at it, and they were able to get a win and held off a run when Iowa started knocking down some of those shots, and they were able to withstand that. And like I said, they made those free throws down the stretch, which was huge.
What's been the difference? Since that Tennessee loss in Knoxville, Auburn, if the stat still holds correctly, the best shooting 3-point percentage team in the league. What changed from the first part of the year to the second part?
Yeah, I don't know if it was shot selection, what they've been able to get done in sharing the basketball. KD Johnson coming on and making shots has been big because he's been pretty consistent here at the end of the year. And so I think it's probably a little bit all those things, and depth probably has played into it too. They've been able to probably stay fresher than most teams, and so they've been able to keep their legs and probably even find a little bit of a rhythm here at the end of the year.
Well, I thought that was huge. Just kind of your overall thoughts being in Legacy Arena yesterday for the first session and the second session. It's a unique situation to have Alabama and Auburn in the same building, and then now they're going to be in the same building at the same time on Saturday. Auburn will get started first, and then Alabama will follow up. It's going to be a late night tomorrow night.
It is, but you're right. It was pretty fun to see, a combination of 30,000 people to watch basketball in the state of Alabama in an NCAA tournament day, and have Auburn and Alabama there. I've been kind of laughing about, Kelvin Sampson. I understand. I wouldn't be happy if I was Houston having to play Auburn in Birmingham, but I think what he doesn't realize is he's going to have 10,000 Houston fans tomorrow. There are going to be 10,000 people in there that have a different shade of red. They're going to be cheering for Houston tomorrow instead of Auburn. So there'll be Auburn fans there, but there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be cheering for Houston that might not normally be Houston fans.
Right. You're right. They'll definitely have that advantage. So
yeah, they will. Yeah, they'll be pulling against Auburn, just like the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, like you said, different shades of red.
Right.
Hey, Jason, let's shift over, talk some spring football. Jim has a question here. He said, what's the O-line looking like? What about the depth and starters? I know we're early into the spring practices, but any concerns early that you see out of this group?
No, not really. I think they're getting a look at guys, moving them around some to kind of get a feel for maybe what they can do, what they're able to accomplish. And Jay Thorne's a guy that wants to see guys play all 5 positions. So he's moved guys around. I think he's starting to get a feel for maybe what he wants to look at. They'll do some small scrimmage situations today, so that'll be a really good test to see, what guys look like, with something on the line. But I think the newcomers, those grad transfers, have been good players. Jeremiah Wright back, Tate Johnson. They got some veteran pieces to go along with some newcomers, a guy like Connor Lou's a guy to watch too. So, I think there's some things they're working on, but it's a build and a rebuild. But at least they got some numbers to do it.
Are they planning to scrimmage today, Jason?
Yeah, it'll be. Just some situation stuff. They just don't have enough in to have like a full bore scrimmage, and so it'll be a little situation stuff where they'll do some maybe third downs, maybe some little goal line, but it's not going to be a whole lot. It's not going to be a full ball scrimmage for sure.
I know a lot of people want to know about the quarterback situation, and again, I don't think there's any answers at this point. I know Coach Freeze has talked about mixing everybody up, rotating the guys through with each group, the first team, second team, third team, everybody kind of rotating, getting their snaps with the ones. Just early observations on the quarterback room here for Auburn going in the spring.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. They're trying to get a feel for an offense to kind of figure out what they're doing. At the same time, working on the fundamental things with new coaches they haven't worked with before. So it's kind of been I think probably a head swimming time for much of those guys. And so I think there's been some positive things, like Free said. I think there's been some positive things, and some negative things, and everything in between. And so I think for these guys, it's just get these scrimmage opportunities a little bit today, probably more next week as they get more offense in. They'll be able to open some things up from there moving forward. But right now it's just kind of seeing what you got, getting used to each other, and trying to learn a little bit of the offense so far.
I know we don't have much time left. Probably won't be able to get to baseball, even though they start play at Arkansas. It's going to be brutal cold. But I do want you to have some visitors in this weekend and some yesterday visiting the football program, some pretty big names.
Yeah, no, obviously, yesterday, today, KJ Bolden was the number 2 player in the country from Beaufort, Georgia, defensive back, was visited. Saw a tweet with him catching up with Walker White, Auburn's quarterback commitment from Little Rock, Arkansas, who I think is a really good player. He's back on campus. Some other guys expected to be here this weekend. I think BB Comer running back Kamora Harris is already here. You guys saw him in the championship game, and a guy that is an intriguing player as running back, maybe linebacker. Doesn't have an Auburn offer yet, but he's one of the guys here today. So there'll be a pretty big group of guys here. Probably going to be practicing inside with the rain, and so that might definitely limit how much they're able to do, especially from a scrimmage standpoint. But, so good day to have a bunch of visitors in town once again.
Well, Jason, we appreciate it, as always, having you on Fridays. Looking forward to tomorrow in the round of 32 up in Birmingham, brother.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy. Bye-bye. Jason Caldwell with Inside the Auburn Tigers. Stay tuned. One segment left here on the Auburn Blitz on this Friday edition.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Kalijah Idol is coming to Lake Martin and the River region. The opening rounds are at Martin's on Lake Martin, starting March 17th. Then at Alabama's Little Bit of Texas at Wetumpka from March 31st to April 22nd. Kalijah Idol 15.
Something big is coming. Something so big,
It'll change the world of chicken sandwiches. Zaxby's new signature sandwich with Zax sauce or new spicy Zax sauce, because the chicken sandwich war ain't over yet. The new signature sandwich. All the other little sandwiches can run along. We'll take it from here.
OGS Tournaments. WrestleMarine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren presents Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our best rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Tails are wagging and pets are bragging about Zoom to Groom. Columbus, Phoenix City, and Smith Station. Zoom to Groom comes to you. It's mobile pet grooming from the comfort of your driveway. Schedule your appointment now online at zoomtogroom.net or by phone at 334-740-9909.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Friday edition of the Auburn Blitz. One segment left here. Brett and Scott bringing you to the end of your lunch hour here. Some updates, games underway. USC trailing Michigan State with a little over 9 minutes to go in the game, 58-49. Xavier is down to Kennesaw State 43-36 at halftime. It's another potential destroyer of a bracket. And Baylor, number 3 seed, taking on UC Santa Barbara, only up 21-16 with about 8 minutes to go there in the first. So those are the games underway now. Later on, VCU and St. Mary's, Vermont and Marquette. Pitt won that playing game against Mississippi State. They'll take on Iowa State. NC State and Creighton. A lot of people think Creighton's got a chance to make a run in this tournament as a 6 seed. We'll kind of see how that plays out. Saw where Clark Kellogg said, watch out, UConn for Iona today. That's a 13-4 matchup. Fairleigh Dickinson got that play-in win, and they'll take on Purdue. We just talked about Providence, Kentucky. Drake will take on Miami, not the singer, Drake, the school. Grand Canyon will take on Gonzaga at 6:35. Memphis and FAU is an 8-9 seed. Kansas State will take on Montana State, Indiana, and Kent State. And then the last matchup of the night to get started, Arizona State and TCU. So
how old is that Timmy guy at Gonzaga?
He's been there about 15 years.
I know he's got to be out of eligibility by now.
Drew Timmy.
He's got 3 kids, and well, he's
been there. He's been there a minute. There is no doubt about it. So again, thanks to Jason Caldwell for being on the program with us here on Fridays. We really appreciate his insight. Hey, look, the one thing, we'll go back and talk a little bit about football and then baseball before we close it out, Scott. spring practice, again, you heard him, the numbers still aren't where they need to be, but they have a limited situation scrimmage today. But the thing that's important is about 25 visitors on campus.
That's great.
Did you ever hear in the last couple of years of anybody visiting during spring or any?
They didn't want to come down here.
So, I mean, they didn't get asked.
They didn't get asked. That's right.
You have to go see somebody first to get them to come. But anyway, you got Walker White getting a commitment from him from Arkansas, and one of the top quarterback prospects in the country. He's actively recruiting these other guys to come to Auburn.
Right.
I think that's so key, and we saw it with, Gus Malzahn and Tuberville. If they get one key guy that's like the alpha guy that's going to go out, they can recruit as good or better than the coaches can.
Oh, yeah, all day long. It's called leadership. We probably not had that in a while.
Right. Well, I'm impressed with the Walker White kid. Right. I don't know if you've seen film on him.
No.
But did you watch his press conference when he announced? I mean, that's if you can't bottle up somebody any better than him from a, just seems to have everything in order. His family was there. He talked about, all the people that were important in his life and how he got to that point.
And he's probably 17 years old.
That's it.
Acting like a 25.
He looked 30, he did look like a mid-20s guy.
Right.
So physically, he looks like a mid-20s guy
so he's
too.
Mature.
So, you look at it from that standpoint, and you get a key guy like him. I thought Hugh Freeze did a great job, and the staff did a great job of closing on this recruiting class and getting it up there in the top 20. And looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do with a full year under his belt moving forward.
I bet A-Day, what is it, 2 weeks?
It's April the 8th.
Yeah. Probably have the most crowd there in
if it's
3 or 4 years.
If it's good weather, you got Auburn, Texas A&M that weekend in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
You got, the A-Day game. I think it could be one of the better weekends we've had in a while in the spring. Highly anticipated.
People will go out and see what's going on.
Speaking of baseball, Auburn gets SEC play started. Alabama last night started SEC play with Florida, an hour and 51-minute game, and it was over. Florida wins the game, shuts Alabama out. Talked to Gary on his show this morning. He's like, these Friday night starters in the SEC, I mean, are unbelievable. Wow. And so Florida, takes out Alabama, who has been on a tear, and I think had one loss going into last night. Auburn gets started. It's going to be brutally cold. It's going to be in the low 30s before this game's over tonight. Tonight into tomorrow morning, 19 degrees.
How do you keep your pitcher warm? Especially if it's a long inning,
Exactly. So, the game got moved up. The Friday game got moved up to 4:00. And the Saturday and Sunday games will be played at 2:00. It looks like Tommy Vale will get the nod tonight for Auburn. He's 2-0 with a .63 ERA. He'll be going against lefty Hunter Holland, 3-0, 2.18. The Arkansas was the last team Auburn played last year. Knocked them out of Omaha in the College World Series. And Arkansas has been, in the last decade, probably one of the premier teams in the league year in and year out. They seem to be a constant in Omaha. And, again, though, it doesn't matter where you start in league play here. I mean, just pick your poison.
Right.
South Carolina, A&M, LSU, Florida, Vandy, it doesn't matter. And Vanderbilt took care of Ole Miss last night. This is the toughest, and Jason said this a few weeks ago, we're good in everything, SEC-wise. I mean, we really are. It's not just throwing that out there. But SEC baseball, man.
Everybody's good.
I mean, Butch Thompson was on the show a few weeks ago, and he said every weekend in the SEC is like playing in Omaha.
Exactly. I've been to one game so far, and our new first baseman, I can't think of his name.
Who's injured. So
he's not playing today?
Well, he has been injured, so I don't know
but
if he's
been hitting the ball well.
I know it.
Yeah, he was I guess he was a good find. I can't think of his name.
Well, we got, Ike Irish is one of the top hitters in the country. Bryson Ware has been on a complete tear. Justin Kirby, some guys coming off the bench have filled in for Bobby Pierce. And, we're going to see some of these. Cole Foster had an ab injury this week, so if he's back, not the best time to be trying to come back for something 26, 28 degree weather.
I bet he's not back this week.
Anyway, it's going to take a monumental effort. Hey, look, on the road, you just want one.
That's right.
Just don't get swept. Don't get swept in these series. Scott, glad to have you part of the group, man.
Enjoyed it. Thanks for having me.
Looking forward to having you back here as a regular. And that's going to wrap it up for the Friday edition of Auburn Blitz. Again, we've enjoyed it. Well, hope you have. See you next week.